Hey, Kelly Joe, thanks for coming in today. We're right at the end of a unit, a bad time for me to be gone. And normally I don't have subs do labs, but I know you can do it. So it's nice to have you here today. So thank you guys. Kelly, I've got a tub that's got all the stuff you'll need, all the stuff the kids will need in it. And I'll leave it right here on the front desk so you see it when you come in. The kids are going to be working in groups of 4. And they've used to doing that, and just tell the A person, they'll know who that is, to go ahead and come and get the stuff. And that would be, of course, after you show the instructions movie on it, which hopefully you've watched to give you a little idea what the kids are going to be doing. Every group is just basically going to be getting a beaker with a couple test tubes and a candle. I've put a big beaker in for you to put water in. The only sink that works for water is that one right next to my desk. It's the only one that's turned on. You won't need much because these want 20 milliliters of water in them. And then the kids just follow the direction on the movie. The matches, by the way, are in this junk drawer. I'll probably just leave them in there. I'll probably put them in here for you anyway. At any rate, though, I wanted to give you a little bit of background so you know what the kids need to be writing. Question 1 says draw a model, and the kids are now used to drawing models that have all these components. But what's basically going to happen in this is the one that we don't heat, the water level is going to stay right at the bottom of the container, and it's going to be lower than the outside 20 milliliter one. The one that we heat up, and it's going to take some time to do this, so they can't draw their model right away, which I told them in the movie. But if they do it right, the water level in this one's actually going to come well above this one by at least a couple of centimeters, and it should rise higher than the water level actually that's inside the container. And the reason, and then so the kids are going to want to draw those with real attention to showing the inside water level versus the outside water level, really important part of the model. And then they also know that they have to put the high and low pressure areas in, as well as the direction the force is pushing, as well as a description of how the air pressure is changed. None of the stuff I'm showing you here is going to be new language to the kids. They know that high pressure always pushes to low pressure. So in this one right here, the one that we didn't heat, they're going to write high pressure created by water pressing air into a smaller volume. That goes up a little bit, and it puts the air in this into a smaller space. The kids know that when you put air into a smaller space, it raises the pressure. That's why we're going to put an H for high pressure inside that test tube. We're going to do a arrow pushing down on the water because that's why the water won't come in. The high pressure forces down on it and keeps it from entering. And in this case, the low pressure is outside. And I'm going to come back to this because this will be a confusing piece for the kids. On this one, where it came up, the reason we have to wait for about 5 or 10 minutes is for that air we heated up to fully cool down. And the kids know that you can lower pressure by cooling particles off. And so as those cool, the pressure in here gets low, and now the relative pressure outside is high. It's pushing down on the water because the high pressure wants to get to that low by our cardinal rule of pressure. It can't get there. It's not strong enough to break the glass, although it would like to, but it's pushing down on the water, and that's why the water is going further up into that, because that doesn't have the same high pressure holding it out that this one does. And it's going to be difficult because in one case, we're putting an H on the outside air saying it's under high pressure. And on this side, we're putting an L under the outside air. And so some of the kids go, well, what is it? How can it be both? And it's just relative to the inside air. This outside air pressure is lower than that high pressure inside. This high pressure outside is higher than the low pressure inside. So it's really relative to what's inside there. But that's a fully drawn model, and the students are used to drawing those. And so that is the lab for Friday. And then I'll leave you, of course, a copy of this. It's got all the answers. Monday will be a lot easier. No equipment or anything like that. It's going to be a pressure review of everything we've covered during this unit. And I'll leave you, of course, a full set of corrections for that. I'm not sure yet because I'm making this on the Sunday before the weekend before. I'm not sure what I'll have for my prime time, but it'll just be some sort of a worksheet, and I'll leave those in a stack that just says PT Friday, PT Monday. All right. And if you have any questions, you can always call me. I know I'll be up in Ellensburg, and my cell number is 225-3081, or you can email me because I'm sure I'll be on email on the morning. But calling would be better. I may be in transit too, so who knows. But and finally, Kirsten's going to do this same exact one first period. So if you want to kind of go in there and watch what Kirsten does, you could do that as well. But hopefully this gives you a little background on where the kids are at by the time they do this. Thanks again for coming in, Kelly. Hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, give me an email.